Hey everyone, in today's video we're going into a full Facebook ads, high converting ads course step by step. Let's go. Hey there and welcome to the channel. My name is Ricky Hayes. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the channel today. Before we get into today's content, please be sure to like. It really helps with the growth of my channel. Subscribe for more content every week and comment down below what you'd like to see, and any questions you have, I will answer them accordingly, okay? In addition to this as well, the slides for today of the strategy and links and everything you need is in the description down below. In the slides, it is 100% yours for free, okay? Let's go. All right, cool. So here's the slides. It's just the opening slide. So pleasure to have you here again. Now let's move into step number 1, understanding Facebook ad creative specifics. Very important you understand this. There's both the specific side and then there's obviously the actual marketing side, and they work hand in hand, and the more you know about this, the better. Okay, now if you're wondering about this, I cut my fingers. Facebook has different optimizations for different ad creative placements. Okay, placements are key now in 2020 and beyond, and it's really important you understand that. Okay, for the overall marketing strategy, I'm not going to be getting into the overall. You can watch my other video there. That's been a very popular one. You can go and watch that. It teaches you how you can actually do the overall Facebook marketing strategy. Okay, so Facebook is a very competitive marketplace, hence why the more you get into Facebook ads and you grow your business, scale, so on and so forth, the more you're going to notice that what they're mainly doing is releasing more placements. So Facebook owns WhatsApp. They're starting to monetize WhatsApp. They're trying to monetize Messenger more, Messenger stories, Facebook story. One of their big successes has been Instagram stories. One of their other big successes has been now the audience network. Okay, so Facebook is a very competitive marketplace, but if you can work around it by being in different areas where there's not as much competition, hence why we need to talk about this. Okay, so each of these placements has different requirements. Is it image? Some might be only image, some might be image and video, some might have different dimensions, some might have different lengths of their video. Okay, so these are all elements you need to consider, because Facebook won't allow you to show your ad in this placement if it isn't eligible through the specifics. Okay, with stories, if the length is too long, it won't allow you to do it. If the dimension's not right, it won't allow you to do it. Okay, very important you understand that. Instagram stories specifically, I'll mention that a lot, is definitely one of the prime areas where you can get a lot more success and being a cheaper cost per purchase. All right, so there's a detailed amount of information that I've found here, and let's go and have a look at that now so that you can have an understanding of this. So this is the link here, and again, it's just in the slides. So you can see the surfaces, okay, 16:9 ratio, 9:16 ratio, okay, full landscape, square, vertical, and full portrait. Okay, so if you're doing stories, full portrait. Not to say that your normal square video won't work, but imagine that extra amount of space, fully optimized. It just is a lot more engaging. It actually looks like a real story. It looks less like an ad, because stories are designed for people to record on their phone. So you want to make it look like that. All right. So that's just what I'm saying there. And you can get a full list of information, okay, just by having a look at these simple tables. All right. So the length, up to 240 minutes you can do for Facebook newsfeed. Okay. Stories, up to 120 seconds. Hugely different. So depending on what type of campaign or objective you're doing, then you have to keep this in mind. All right. So search results, ignore those aren't very good right now. Anyway, but 120 seconds. All right. So most of the way I'll be teaching you is 45 to 60 seconds. So you won't have much of a problem. Okay. You can have captions. You don't have to, but it's recommended. You can have sound. It's optional, but it's recommended. And you can see where that all of these will all work. Okay, 16:9 and all of that, Facebook will automatically apply it for these other ones. Okay, so it does most of the work for you, but if you really want that best experience, then you might change it from 16:9 to 9:16 as an example. All right, and then, but if you want to be in the search results, you can see it has to be square, 1:1. All right. So that's just an example. You got instant articles, Instagram, okay? So we got Instagram stories, again, to 120 seconds. And you can see that some of these other placements, okay? So full portrait for Instagram feed, won't work if it's 9:16. Okay, it has to be 4:5, 191, 1. So although slight differences that most people don't look at, there are differences. And then if you want to have a look on the audience network, again, it has all of that. So this is regularly updated. This is from Facebook for Business. You can look this up yourself if you like. I just thought it'd be nice to add a link there for you. Then there's the other thing that I wanted to mention, and it's back in here. You can also see the text over your ad. So if you have too much text, and I've made this mistake 1,000 times, if you have too much text over an ad, it won't actually show, or it may be limited. So we've got to be very, very mindful of that. Facebook allow what they define as a 20% overlay. If there's too much, then they won't show your ad. Okay, so the text for your description and all of that is fine. That's obviously what that's for. But in the actual creative, in the video, in the image, you need to be mindful of the amount of text. So I just thought I'd add a quick little link. You can go here. Okay, so it can go okay, low, medium, high. Your advert may not run, your ad may reach fewer people, your ad may reach slightly fewer people. And it's a simple way where you can upload your image and have a look and get an idea. Again, this is just on Facebook under the tools, and you can have a look at the text overlay. So you can use that as a simple little method to sort of understand, are you on the right path? Are you making mistakes? Because sometimes people say, oh, I'm not spending, when it actually can be just a simple little fix like this. Okay, so there's just a couple little tools that are free that you can use for that as well. Let's go back into the slides. So the main reasons is my main placements that work for most people at scale as well is the news, Instagram and Facebook newsfeed, always going to be the ones where you're going to get most sales. However, that can be the most competitive. Okay, so look at other placements. As I said, I've found stories doing exceptionally well for me. I've found that the audience network doing exceptionally well, and I look forward to seeing what WhatsApp and over time Messenger has to offer. They have not been hugely amazing right now, but they're areas where you consistently can keep an open mind and see how it may work for your business, because you might be able to drop 50% of your cost per purchase by simply changing the dimensions of your ad and showing it in that placement. Can make a huge difference to your overall profitability. Important to understand, I don't market on desktop for e-commerce, doesn't work well. Okay, for different types of products, yep, desktop does work well. If I'm trying to sell an info product, if I'm trying to sell software, desktop does well because it's to entrepreneurs, okay, and entrepreneurs use desktop. For e-commerce, most of our demographic generally tend to be women, and also most of them generally shop on mobile, okay, probably about 95% in fact, and I just find desktop doesn't convert very well, and so I cut it out. I've already gone over point number 10, and again, I just want to say I want to emphasize the importance of the placement. The creative makes a huge difference to the outcome. We've all seen that ad, especially on stories, where you can tell a clear difference between an ad that is just auto-placed as opposed to one that has been curated for that placement. And it probably gets you a lot more engaged. Hopefully you're sitting there and thinking, yeah, that actually makes sense. That's what I'm trying to achieve here, to teach you those skills. Okay, so that's step number 1. You can just go through those links and it'll help you to build up your repertoire of knowledge. Let's now move into step number 2. Step number 2, understanding the formula for high converting ads. Now this is really important. Now we understand the specifics. Now we want to understand how we actually make the high converting ads. All right, so it's an important skill that I recommend each and every one of you learn. Time and time again, I get people coming to me and asking why they're not getting sales and that. And people just think that you can just market a product and that it'll just, as long as the product's good, that it should sell. No, you have to learn the psychology and the formula for how to successfully market to people to get him or her to pull out their wallets. Understand that any product will sell, and I always recommend trying to sell a product as if it's a need in their life. It's going to solve a problem, rather than just, oh, here's another purse. Why is this purse so good? what makes this purse so good? Is it made of organic materials? Does it go to a charity? Does it have some amazing feature that allows you to use the purse like nothing ever seen before? Okay, so you can see how that frames your mind very differently, and that's how you should market to customers. Any product can be sold. I find the easiest way to sell an item is always to try and sell it in a way that it's a need in their life. They need this item, even if they got 100 of them. Okay, there's a million stores that sell clothes, that sell shoes, that sell sunglasses, and yet they all still make sales, don't they? Because they understand how to market it to a customer that will want that item and need it in their life, and they might market in a different way. So different types of sunglasses, different types of ways of the light coming through their eyes, something like that as an example. Okay, we'll get a bit more into that. I want to show you a practical example of this. So again, I aim to make my videos about 45 to 60 seconds. Works well for Facebook. If you're doing other, let's say, marketing platforms like YouTube, there's links for that in below as well. You have different lengths. Make sure they're 1920 by 1080 or 16:9 ratio. So I talk about placements, but in the beginning, I just start as the more universal one, 16:9 ratio. I find 3 to 5 videos from Facebook, Google, YouTube, competitor stores for reference material. Okay, so I have a notebook that I write a heap of notes in. So when I find a product, okay, and I've got heaps of product research videos, you can go and watch them. We're not going to get into that too much today, but you can then find out a ton about the product from multiple competitors, different angles, and you get little highlights from those videos, and then you make your own video from it. Okay, as a result, you're making a script, and that script you can then make the video from that script, and as a result, it's a really high converting video. The videos that always do the best to tens of millions of dollars are the ones that have a huge amount of foreplanning rather than just slapping something together, because they do a lot of research, they script it, and then they curate it. Right? And it always works best that way. Very simple process, but it might take a bit longer, but it always works out better in the long run. And I'll show you that in a moment. So as I said, you make the script. For Facebook, I use a specific guide frame to help me. So a low budget, so to help me create my ads on a low budget for a quality ad. So what that basically means is many of us have a low budget. We don't have through $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to go create a new ad straight off the bat. It's a pretty big risk. That this way actually mitigates that and allows you to nearly get the same result on a very small budget. An ad that will have a high chance of converting. Okay, so as I've said in my other video, I don't expect results day one. I might expect result day 2, day 3, but that's something in that one. But I know from the beginning I have a high chance of converting because I've done my due diligence. It allows me to test products and minimize wastage of initial funds. So it all just works hand in hand that I have done my research and that I'm pretty confident that I can get this to work. I just need to give it some time and consistency. All right, so here's a bit of the outline of the script to give you a guide frame. And this is something that people have different approaches, but this is sort of how I do it. A hook, pattern, interrupt. So this is the first 6 seconds that captures people. Okay, something that gets them interested, stops them scrolling, and that can be partly your thumbnail as well as the image or the video. Okay, so generally, because we do video, the first 6 seconds really, really important to really get him or her engaged. So an introduction, introduce your product. So the pattern interrupt could be just something like someone pulling out their hair about some hair product and it's hurting them, it's uncomfortable, and then introduce their product. Okay, introduce your product as this product that allows them to do their hair without pulling out their hair. They're happy, okay, and feeling good about themselves as an example. An old bad way, again, going back to that old bad way of don't do it this way, this is bad, this is going to waste your time, this is going to cost you money, this is going to hurt you, so on and so that you play on the negatives and implant that heavily in their mind. and then you again reintroduce your product as the problem solving product. Okay, this hair product is going to save you time, it is going to save you money, it is going to give you a more consistent outcome, it is going to make you feel good about yourself, all those types of things. Okay, just understand that that with marketing there's always a positive and a negative, and if you put it in a script, then you can use the positive and negatives and really emphasize on the positives, and people will be far more engaged. Sort of at about the 40 to 50 second mark, you start introducing your offer, deal, or special. Okay, and generally I will say, limited time only, 50% off, and then I'll do another caption, don't miss out, and then I'll say shop now at. Okay, your call to action, just telling them where to go. Okay, it's always important you tell people where to go rather than letting them guess. It gives you more control. Okay, tell them where to go. Shop now at ilovedogs.com. And then at the end, you have a little screen that just is basically with overlay as a shop now again. You've probably seen a number of these. Okay, you can see how it sort of uses that template approach. It sort of chops and changes, but overall is the same. And you can use that to help you. Okay. So personally, for those wondering as well, I recommend using royalty-free music. Of course, I'm not going to recommend using copyrighted music. So, use the Facebook Music Library, YouTube Music Library are two great resources where you can just Google it and you can get royalty-free music. They actually provide that for content creators. And for the thumbnail, you can just use canva.com. Okay, if you want, we're not going to get too much into that today, but if you want a video on thumbnails, then just let me know that a bit more down below. Let's now go into point number 5 so that you can start to get your reference material, because point number 5 is where it's really, really important, and then the rest really just sort of falls into place, and you'll notice that it just flows naturally. Okay, so I'm hoping that makes sense. Let's go into it now. All right, lovely. So I'm just in my Facebook, and for this example, I'm just going to be using very, very successful campaigns to help you with this. Okay, so this is not about product research as more as it's about teaching you the process of if I have a product I want to market. So straight off the bat, all I did was I put get yours here and this magic dishwashing gloves. Now I have my volume muted, so don't worry about your ears blasting off. So I've got these. Now I'm sure many of us are well aware of this product right now. This is a very saturated product, highly successful campaign. There's no way they got that many views and comments without making a good amount of money. So let's go and have a look here. So I said that we want to try and use 3 to 5 Facebook, Google, or YouTube competitor videos. So this is one. Okay, so we found this. So what I'll put in is I will put in magic dishwashing gloves. I'll go videos, and here we go. So because this is such a broad example, of course, we're going to see a lot of videos, and because you're always going to see if someone's done very well, you're going to see a heap of people nearly pretty much copying it. Okay, so you can see how this one has exactly copied it, but to a different link as an example. Not a number of months after, and so you can see varying amounts of success based on the people that are marketing it. Okay, so but you can get a heap of ideas from this. Okay, that they might be using a different creative. Okay, so what we want to try and do is find one that has a good amount of views, because they've spent a good amount of money. Like, 2, 3, 4 views is not really useful. Here we go. So we've got this one here. So let's have a look. So this looks like a different video, different overlay. It has some comments and so on and so forth as well. Okay, so we're not too worried about the comments and that at this stage. We're more worried about trying to find 2 or 3 of different videos that we can get, and use to make our own unique video. So we're basically using other people's videos and putting the best parts of it ideally together to make more high converting videos from there. All right, so you can see how this one is different. Now, if you want to download it, you can go right click, show video URL. You can click that, and I personally use what's known as JDownloader 2. It's free software, it's open source, and you can actually download these videos. Okay, so just as a little tip there. Okay, so it's got plenty of great little points, and if rather you don't want to just flat copy someone, it doesn't nearly work as well as if you make something unique. As I said in the last one, that's the reason that you've seen many videos or products that haven't done well for many, but start doing really well for some, and that's primarily because they've started to use a new video. So let's go into Google now and let's type in magic dishwashing gloves. So what we can see here is we've got a heap, Inspire, Uplift. I'm sure many of us know about them. Here we go. We've got a competitor straight off the bat that we can use and get ideas from. Okay, and they've got a video. All right. So you can see they've uploaded it to their YouTube channel, and it nearly looks like it's nearly the same video, slightly different. Okay, so we do have some elements. Look at that. You can even use it on your YouTube. I didn't even think of that. Okay, or for Americans that would be pickup truck. Anyway, so you get the point here. Okay, so there's another video, and it took me 2 seconds. We can see here that we've got a review. So if we go to videos now, because this is such a good example, they have. Oops, sorry. Don't know why that took me to their website. Sorry, here we go. So we can see that we have the product. I don't know who this person is, but you can see that this is like a review video of someone actually just testing this product in this example. Okay, and you can see that this is perfect. Like it's like a testimonial. The person's actually comparing it to what they have seen in other videos, and they're actually then going to test it out and show you. Okay, so you could get little points from this. So this is the part that might be a little bit mundane and take some time, but you can use that to your advantage. And all you need to do is just a simple Google search. Okay, if you're after stores, you can put little pluses. I'm not going to get too much into that because it'll confuse people, but it's a product research method, and you can put .myshopify on the end, and you go all, and what we're going to do is we're going to find a number of stores. So this one apparently doesn't exist, so bad example. And here we go. This looks disgusting. So I'm not using that one. Here we go. So let's see what others we can find. But you can see how easy it is for me to find this product. Okay, and we're trying to find some more ideas. A lot of people have a video in their description, or you might even be after images. Okay, look at that. That's a nice image. It really explains the benefits of the product. And we've got another person here. So we've got some other images in that as well that we can utilize. Okay, and all it took was just a few simple filter searches, and we can bring all this content together. This also helps you make your description, your product page, and that as well. So within a few minutes, I had found some major competitors, got some videos, got different images, got different descriptions, and I can use all of that for my entire funnel process. Okay, not just the video, but I'm just emphasizing on the video. Okay, so I hope that sort of really explains just how easy it is really to do your own research, just to understand. And I recommend you do this. I want to emphasize on that, because the more research you do, okay, if you read this description, okay, you'll get a very different description to this one and this one. One thing you're going to pick up is little points of like I didn't know that this product really did it for cars. Perfect example of something that I didn't expect, that is a nice little gem that I can use for marketing. Okay, I just didn't think of it. I was purely thinking this is for dishes, and here I am wrong, just from a simple few searches that cost absolutely no amount of money or really no time at all to do. All right, it's that simple, guys. So that's step number 2 on how you can do it. If you want me to actually go through, I won't do it today, but if you want me to go through step number 8, like a live demonstration of how I would do it, to really show you how I think and how I would do it and how I try and put it together, let me know that down below, because that one will take a bit of time, and I want it to be authentic and legitimate, and I want to make sure that that's something that you guys want. All right, let's move now on to step number 3. All right, so step number 3 is the methods to make the high converting ads. So now we know about the dimensions, we know the specifics. Now we know how to do research and curate content and script. Now we want to know how do we actually do it, right? So DIY, okay, is do it yourself. Obviously, there's a ton of software, and I am not by any means a video editing professional. There's a lot of people much better than me. I use Camtasia. like I'm recording this video using Camtasia because it's quick, it's easy, I understand it. But there's plenty of other software. There's like InDesign, I can't even remember half of them. There's a number of Apple ones, so on and so forth. Okay, I'm not going to get heavily into that. If you're after wanting to know how to do that, just literally YouTube it yourself and you'll come up with a ton of videos on how you can do it. Second option is bandsofads.com. I personally use them and I think they're a good service. So I use them as a recommend. So I give them a script, I give them the content, okay, the source material, just like what I just shown you, and they make a high converting video on my behalf. They even make a thumbnail and can be more costly for those on a low budget though, okay? So number A can take the most amount of time, but it can be the cheapest. Number B can be more expensive, but gets you a video much quicker if you don't want to learn that skill. And C, I'm gonna get into B and C, is InVideo. Okay, so I personally only just recently started using this. One of my good friends, Camille Satar, the Ecom King, he told me about it. I'm like, I'm going to have a look. And this is a great tool. Okay, I absolutely love this tool. My whole team has access to it now, and I plan to keep using this tool more and more and more. It is fantastic. And I was just having a look at the pricing. The pricing is $7.50 a month. So it's very inexpensive for the amount of support and value you're going to get from this is very, very, very good. So I would recommend having a look. That is an affiliate link. I'm not going to lie, being upfront about that. You don't have to use that, but that is the link there. So let's go more into both of these websites to give you a bit of an idea about sort of the pros and cons of each. So you get a better idea as well. Now I want to make point number 3. My recommendation in the beginning is to do it yourself, okay? And then use a tool to do it yourself too and learn the most. So it is always best to do things the hard way in the beginning because you're going to learn the most. And then when you use a tool like service like Bands Off Ads or a tool like InVideo, then you're going to be able to utilize it much easier and better. So I just really want to emphasize on that importance. That's how I always learned. I always approach things doing it the manual way. It might be tedious, it might take more time, but when it comes to then using a tool, you'll appreciate a lot more. It'll be a lot easier, and generally you're going to start to see far better results. Okay, that's just my opinion. Okay, but I just wanted to give that recommendation out there. Let's go into option B and C now, so I can teach you a bit more about both of those products and services. All right, cool. So I'm just at bandsofads.com, and this is just their landing page where they have a number of examples. You can watch them and get an idea. They do a good job. Okay, they're really starting to grow. It's made by my friend, and he's a fellow YouTuber, Sheriff. And hey, Sheriff, if you're watching this, mate. So they do offer a really good service here as well, and you can use it. So basically, you put your order in, okay? You put your order in, it goes through a quick sort of setup guide that you provide links to the videos, you provide script if you want, any specifics, things like that. And Sheriff and his team, they will help you out with that as well. It is a really good service. It is a bit more on the expensive side, so that's why I like to be honest and upfront with that. Okay, but if you want something that's sort of a done for you service, this is by far the best one out there. There's a lot of mimics, but this is definitely the original and sort of the best in its space. So I recommend that you take a look at bandsofads.com. Again, it's in the description below. I am not an affiliate for this at all. It's just that I genuinely like to promote a service that I personally use, as well as the one that is actually just a good service that will help people. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is InVideo. Now I do have access to this and my team. This is my account. I'm on a premium. Cheapest chips, as I said, and as you can sort of see here, we've got heaps of templates. Okay, so it's one of these ones where it provides you templates that can help you with different things: e-commerce, just general brand awareness. You got all these categories: intro, outro, video, ads, bumper, slideshows, classified, posters. It's a pretty stock standard in terms of all of that. But let's go video ads. And so you can see here you got the 16:9 ratio, you've got the 9:16. Okay, see how much just nicer it looks when it's full screen rather than it not looking like that. You've got promo, just square ads as well. Okay, so you've got all of these different options that you like. So let's click this one, and so see how you can go. You can choose this and you can heart them. So I'm going to heart this, and now it's a favorite. So it's going to mean that obviously I can then go under favorites and have a look as well. So I'm going to use this template. Takes a moment, and the rendering takes a little bit of time too, and obviously it can take longer based on many different variables. But you can see just sort of how simple this tool is. It allows you to have different music. It has different music already embedded in it. You can upload your own. Okay, again, make sure it's royalty free is my recommendation. You got different categories. Okay, you can change the font. So like it obviously got the templates. You know, Ricky is awesome. Thank you. And see how it auto sizes as well. I use the grid. It just helps me with placing things to make it look all consistent. You can change the styling, colors, drop shadow. You know, the sky's the limit with this type of tool, and for how inexpensive it is, I think it's absolutely fantastic personally. And for anyone that watches me on my channel, you all know how much I love software. I'm a big software freak. So like I was actually earlier just saying how much to my friends and that I love software, and I love this software. It excites me. I love software. Anyway, so you can change the different types of headings, the type of typography as well. You got stickers. I love this. Now, so like for instance, with the call to action, now I'm not going to be really using many of these businessy crap ones, but like if we have a look here, swipe up. Okay, I'm gonna start using this personally a lot, and swipe up. So what we can do is we can play the scene. And let's have a look. So there we go. That's a preview of what we come to expect. Okay, just a simple little swipe up animation. Nothing like, through the roof, but you can add, they've got a ton of these. And personally, like I'm going to try and use one that basically not only shows you, but says to swipe up. Okay, again, when you try and control a funnel, you don't want to leave anything to ambiguity. You have an arrow indicating, okay, showing them, but also telling them. So you're leaving nothing to question. All right, and so this obviously works very much for e-commerce and that as well. You've got effects. I love these effects. These are cool. So if we go entertainment, I can add that effect and let's, play. I just think this is cool. You can really change the way an image is presented just by that. On top of this as well, you can change the way it goes into another video. So if we wanted to stacked zoom, okay, so and we go sort of towards the end there. Oops, sorry, we'll have to play all scenes, and we'll skip a good amount of it just to show. As I said, like these are all, it's very simple. There we go. So you can see how you can basically turn images into a video very simply and very effectively as well. You got shapes. I personally haven't used shapes. You got enhancers. I haven't used really enhancers, and you got uploads. Now I've uploaded a heap of things because this is what I plan to use for various things. I'm not going to show all of that, but you can add, as I said, you can add ratings, lifestyle places. You can do searches. Pretty much is like Canva, but for videos. Really, is what that's primarily for. And you can even add different media. So if you really wanted, you can add this. I don't exactly know how they curate it. Okay, source is Shutterstock. Okay, without any watermark as well. So, but it's important. They obviously have some agreement with Shutterstock that we can start to actually use this. But obviously you'll be mainly using your own content anyway. Now this is just an example for stories. You can go save and export, or I can just leave. Okay, and it'll automatically save it. So I can add a blank template if I want. I can, use an article to video. Okay, so it's you've just got a lot of options here. You can do whatever you sort of want here. And as you can see, the main three types is square, 16:9, and 9:16. Okay, so the main two you'll probably find you'll use more is 16:9 and 9:16. But you could start off completely fresh if you really want to. I'm not going to get too detailed into it. It's really one where you just sort of learn yourself, and you put it together and spit it out, and it'll send you an email to download it. You download the file, upload it into your marketing platform, Facebook, YouTube, Google, whatever you're doing, and away you go. I personally just think it's a great software solution. I've been looking for one, and when I saw the pricing, I'm like, this is actually just a very good price, because I've tried a number of different ones, and they're all good and in their own regard, but they're very expensive a lot of the time, as well as it's much the same as this, and they're actually got other limitations. So this is a fantastic service, and so I just wanted to say, Camille, thank you for recommending this, and thank you to the InVideo team as well for making such a great product. They've been around, I believe, about nearly a year and a half, 2 years, something around that, or maybe longer. I can't fully remember. Anyway, so that's them, and so you got the links there as well if you're interested in those, just in the slides. So let's move into the actual marketing strategy, so you can now put that further together as well. Step number 4 is a strategy for testing the ads. Okay, so like I said earlier, again, you can go and watch the overarching strategy of how you set up your campaigns and ad sets in that video there. Okay, I teach you all of that. This is more towards the ads and the strategy around how that fits into that overall marketing strategy. Okay, so for the ads, personally, I start off with something like this: 2 videos, 45 to 60 seconds in length. Okay, so whether I'm using like Bands of Ads InVideo or doing it myself or have a video editor, I have all those options, and most people that grow their businesses have all of those or similar ones. You want to start off with 2 videos. One video can do very differently to the next. So you really want to test those out. And 2 thumbnails that contain the product, an arrow and an emoji. As I said, just use canva.com. If you use service like Bands of Ads, they can do that for you too, but you can use canva.com. It doesn't have to be perfect, but again, that's why I also say about learning a bit more about the skills yourself. It just makes these things much easier for yourself in the short, medium, and long term. So I combine them to make 4 combinations in total. So I'll make my campaign, I'll make my ad set, and now I'm making the ads. So in this first ad template, I'll do video 1, thumbnail 1, video 1, thumbnail 2, video 2, thumbnail 1. What we're trying to do is we're testing the clickbait, which is mainly the thumbnail, and we're testing then the video. So we're testing basically the same 2 thumbnails with 2 different videos to try and see and gauge what works best. And this is part of what I mean by can take a little bit of time. Okay, with marketing and stuff, it can take a bit of time to get things off the ground, and that's part of the reason why, because you're trying to see, is video 2 thumbnail 1 better than video 1 thumbnail 1? Okay, but once you know, then you've got a marker on the map, and that's really important. Okay, in the beginning, you don't have any markers on the map at all. You don't know where you're going. You don't know who you want to meet. We're trying to find those markers on the map, and once we have it, then you start growing and scaling, because you're like, okay, I know what to do now. So already gone on to point number 4. So generally I leave it for about 48 hours. Try to leave it for 48 hours, okay? And you'll get some good data. You may not have made some sales. You may have made a sale or 2. You may have made a little bit of money. But overall, those first 48 hours is data collection, is how I look at it. And that's how I like to approach it. With a good amount of data, then I can say, okay, maybe Instagram's crap, Facebook's crap, this video's crap, this thumbnail's crap, cut it. Restart. The next 48 hours, holy crap, now I'm really starting to see some results. That's what I'm trying to instill and make you sort of understand. That's the strategy that I use that sort of consistently works quite well for me, because with a good strategy, with good data and giving it some time, it really does make the process much easier for yourself. So you have your winning ad, then you focus on scaling your budget more. So ideally, out of those 4, you want to have 1 to 2 max that you're going to be keeping. Sometimes it can be a bit ambiguous, but generally most of the time you'll find 1 or 2. And those are the ones you want to keep and test more audiences, as an example. And every week cycle in 2 to 3 new creatives. So you could use InVideo, you could use Bands of Ads, whatever. But you want to try and at least add in 2 to 3 new videos to keep content fresh and reduce people stealing your ads. As you just saw in the previous step, I literally typed in those words, and you could see the amount of people that were either like 95% copying them or flat copying them. Okay, and And although the main person would still win in the end, their slice of the pie becomes smaller and smaller because everyone's just stealing from them, and so they're marketing to the same customer base pretty much, and as a result, everyone loses. So the way to get around that is through new creatives, and I find that consistently works. And if you just apply that, you'll find that your campaigns will last longer. You're going to find more opportunities for cheaper cost of purchase. And if you have a look and see what placements are doing best, then you could even just make your ad the exact same ad for a different placement, optimize for that, and you could then scale up in that placement. Okay, so that's why I'm just really trying to instill that, and I hope I'm not coming across as being rude. So again, as you scale, you should always cycle in new ads. It helps immensely with scaling, so never forget this core fact. And so I hope that pretty much between these 4 steps and the other Facebook ads video, which is a link there as well, you pretty much have your entire starting strategy. You have the tools, you have the resources, you have the outline and the strategy. You should be able to pretty confidently do it. The reason that I've done this is that, as I said, that most Facebook ads paid courses are just literally nearly using this exact process or their own iteration. You don't really need it. You can just follow this, and I assure you, you will get results. You just need to apply it consistently and learn, and you will be fine. So those are the 4 steps you need to know. Again, the slides are in the description below. And that concludes today's video on how to build high converting Facebook ads strategy, step-by-step full course. Okay, so I hope you really did enjoy that. There's my typical links. If you did enjoy today's video, please be sure to like. It really helps with the growth of my channel. Be sure to subscribe for more weekly videos. Hit that notification bell so you get updates as soon as I release more content. And if you have any questions, have any requests, just comment that down below. I will personally answer those accordingly to help you in your journey as well. So on top of that as well, a number of people have asked about my free webinar training, and I just wanted to have that there. I have further updated, and I plan to update it even more, so you can go and watch that accordingly. It's going to teach you a ton of additional things on how you can do this all yourself, all completely for free. Okay, you can have a look at it all there. And then there's the other links, for a Shopify trial, mentoring. You've got Facebook Mastermind, free group, Discord channel. A lot of people have been enjoying that, and I've been enjoying the growth of that, okay, as well. So come and join. Okay, I'm really trying to build a community here to make sure that everyone gets the support they need to be able to build a business in 2020. Okay, guys, so that's pretty much it from today's video. I hope you all have a lovely day. I hope you take care, and goodbye.